Do aviation YouTubers crash on purpose, or at least fly recklessly in search of more subscribers? Some straight talk today on Taking Off. I've had someone write me recently about aviation YouTubers pushing the envelope perhaps too far and winding up crashing or failing or breaking things and then posting on their channel. And so today's rant is going to address this issue. I'm Dan Milliken, and thanks for watching. There are videos of thrill seekers flying low, getting the crazy action footage. You've got incidents like famous aviation YouTubers with crashes and mea culpas. You've got ocean ditching, fuel starvation landings on highways, and others. The question in the viewer's email had to do with this type of behavior, leading to really bad aviation, the rise in insurance rates, and what happens when a TikTok generation comes to aviation. Well, first off, I do think there is a drive to get the most amazing footage possible. And sometimes that's not done in the most smart way. For those who are trying to get more and more views, the cross-country straight and level at 9,500 offers some pretty uninspiring video. Oh, let me hear that ATC handoff one more time. But flying under the highline wires, landing on that little strip of sand, or flying through freezing IMC, well, that can get your views up. And clearly, this is not smart. It's pretty much the same story with social media thrill seekers that have gained notoriety from hiking the edge, riding unicycles over the edge of tall skyscrapers, and all that. And yes, there are headlines of some tragic deaths. But there's a reward for that behavior. People watch and subscribe and then watch more. The content creator becomes a celebrity, famous, starts making money for that behavior. Sponsors throw more money and cool product their way. And we're starting to see that in aviation video. So this is a human nature question more than an aviation question. So let me answer it by addressing some thought processes. The old adage, people watch car races for the crashes, is totally true. And as someone who works in marketing, I can tell you that the sensational will get more views. I mean, look at our media right now compared to 20 years ago. TV shows and movies compete to see how far they can push that line. Fail videos on YouTube where people get hit by cars, fall off roofs, body flip all over the place. These are getting views and at a much, much higher rate. So you can say all you want, oh, that's horrible, and it is, but then why are you watching it? There's a couple of aviation YouTubers who fly horribly and record it, and almost troll-like post it. Sure, they get haters by the tons, but they also get views by the tons, and they get called into the FSDO, maybe slapped on the wrist, but it's all part of their game, I'm sure. And no, I'm not going to mention their names so you can go watch their videos in horror and sit glued to your screen while you lament how this isn't right. You can say this isn't right all you want, but when you watch it, make no mistake, you're telling them it's right. YouTube content creators are moving towards the edge faster than their Hollywood counterparts, mainly because the systems in place for Hollywood keep a tight rein on it. YouTube not so much. Amateur broadcasters put their video out and get some views, and then they see they can do something stupid and get 10 times more views. For aviators, you do something stupid, death and destruction is a higher risk than a lot of these other YouTube channels. So maybe that's keeping the craziness back a bit for now. Will we see more, I crashed my airplane and I'm so sorry videos? Absolutely. And as people push the boundaries, it's going to come. But the viewer who wrote in mentioned this being why our insurance rates are skyrocketing. I disagree there. In the grand scheme of things, YouTubers crashing airplanes, while very visible, is a much smaller group compared to a lot of the other variables affecting insurance. But would someone ever purposely crash land their plane or ditch it in the water or whatever just to get views or notoriety? One way to answer that question is what I call the reasonable person test. Most of us are reasonable. We want to be reasonable. So when a reasonable person does an unreasonable act, I try to find out what went on in their head to make it reasonable to them at that moment. What would make it reasonable for a person to create an emergency situation in an airplane so that they could get 1 million views? Revenue from the video? Is it ego strokes from thousands about how well you handled the emergency? What about the thrill seekers? I think they weigh the risk and sometimes fool themselves about how much skill they really have and decide that the reward more than justifies the risk. Which brings us to the next point of thought processes: behavior versus intent. And this is important because if an aviator has a bad landing in post, it could be totally innocent or totally scripted. It comes down to intent. And I mean, our whole legal system is built on intent. You can kill someone and it be just fine. Bin Laden, anyone? You can volunteer to help the homeless and it be wrong for you because maybe you do it so others can see how good you are. It's intent. And because of that, it's difficult to know whether that pilot crash landed with the intent of fame or because she had a legitimate engine issue. So what about me and the videos I post? Well, I'm going to be brutally honest. I've always promised you that. And you might not want to be a subscriber after this, but here goes. I don't have one motive. I'm not a perfect altruistic human who lives minute by minute for the only good of other people. I have an ego that needs to be constantly put down, like a rabid dog. Do I put myself into situations for the sake of a video? Hey, I've got a lot of faults, but I can tell you that's not one of them. I took off in a 0-0 fog for a work trip. With or without cameras, I would have done that takeoff. I've landed on a country dirt road in my 210. Again, I've done that a lot, with cameras rolling and without cameras rolling. During long cross-country trips, do I imagine an engine out at that moment and how I would react? Absolutely, and all the time. I look around and try to pick a landing spot. I think about what steps I would take. I've had some what I would call big fails, stupid things I've done while flying that I know would get a lot of views. Some of those I choose not to post, but not always, and I'll get to that in a moment. There are some truisms in life. If someone says they have no ego, then they have a big ego. If someone says it's not about the money, it's about the money. And if someone says they only do video for the love of aviation, then I question it. Not because of the love of aviation part, but because of the word only. You see, I don't believe there's ever one motive in play when we do things. There's always different, variable, sometimes competing motives. Different reasons that our brain takes into consideration. Sure, someone's driving reason might be to further aviation, or aviation safety is the only reason I post, but I don't ever believe it's the only reason. You see, I want to share with you my love of aviation, but I do confess to some other motives. And if someone won't fess up to any other motives and claim it's just because of their altruistic heart, then I wonder what they're hiding, because everyone has ego in play. In fairness, here are some of my other considerations of why I make videos and why I do this channel. My day job is I own a film and video company doing corporate video and some TV. I started TakingOff as a way to experiment for my corporate clients on how to build YouTube channels. I do watch the analytics. I do experiment with different type videos. The recent accident investigation videos I've started, well, I've always read and studied airplane crashes long before I was even a pilot. I have an ingrained fascination with crashes. So testing or not, I have a real passion for that. And I can't explain to you how much I love aviation and want to share it with everyone. In my heart, I do believe this is my driving motive. It is my passion, but not my only motive. Do I want the channel to pay for itself? Sure, eventually. Is it fun being recognized at a fly-in or FBO? Yes, but that can't be the main reason why I do this. And shooting these videos is a lot of fun, so that's a motive that plays in it. I do play around with thumbnails and video titles, and clearly some do better than others. And yes, if I put the word fail in the title or in the thumbnail, it gets more views. As a film and TV professional, I can tell you that story is conflict. Without it, it'll be boring. Yes, for the marketing, I might play up the conflict a little through the title or the thumbnail, but it will match the content. I won't clickbait people. I am building a channel. I will do industry best practices for marketing. One sad point I want to make I love doing videos where we give a voice for nonprofits and organizations truly making a difference, like Angel Flight or Operation Airdrop. Did you know at the time we did an In the Hangar episode for Challenge Air, it was the most shared video we had, but the lowest views? Here's an organization providing incredible opportunities for extremely challenged children to raise their self-esteem through aviation, but very few of you watched it. Right now, this video, out for a year and a half, has a grand total of 895 views. My rant about the Vegas Bravo Buster from July has 65,000. So you see what we're up against? Seems like the good guys don't win in our media culture today. What do you think? Leave a comment. I think I'm going to play with the thumbnail and title for the Challenge Air episode and see if some marketing can help get that important story out. We'll see. Here's my promise to you. The driving force for this channel is and always will be, does this make me or you a better pilot or a better person? Showing scantily clad babes in bikinis would get the views and the revenue up, but it wouldn't make me or you a better person. Having a fail while flying can make me or you a better pilot or person, so I will have those. I'll tell you right now, I'm dealing with perhaps my biggest fail in my 210 Lola. Haven't even posted a pic on social media yet, and I'm still going through some learning, some lessons, and if it's of value to you, I'll tell you all about it later. It goes back to that primary motive. Becoming a better pilot and person must be the biggest motive. Views, revenue, celebrity status have to take a back seat. And really, that's mostly ego anyway. And my lifelong quest is to kill my ego daily. And that's how I can become a better person. Mike Patey in the Draco crash. I've met Mike. I've no doubt his motives. They come from a good place. Same with Corey Robin and his dip in the river. His mea culpa was genuine, and I've learned a lot from his crash on the river. With or without video, both Mike and Corey would have done what they did. They weren't flying reckless in search of views. Some of the others I can't speak to. I don't know them. But I know me, and I know I can make some stupid choices. And sometimes I might post those stupid choices if I believe we can be better for it. The TLDR, I will not fly reckless just to get views. I will not post a fail just to get views. The videos I post will have the ability to make me and you a better pilot and person. I end this with a couple of things. I like to close these videos with the saying, superior judgment trumps superior skills. And I say it not to you, but to me, because I can be bad on the judgment side, and I think I can save the day with my superior skills. Secondly, as I mentioned earlier, I do have a desire to see the channel grow and become self-sufficient, which would then drive more content. So please subscribe and watch the videos. Go watch the Challenge Air episode. You can also support us by buying from our sponsors, like Flying Eyes Sunglasses. Use TakingOff, one word, all caps, 10% off, and Wingfield Aviation for your plane maintenance. Got a new shipment of TakingOff t-shirts in. All sizes are now available. So I'll have a link to that in the description. My motive here is to earn some money to support the channel and get the brand out there. And for fans of the channel, you'll notice I put the sponsorship at the end this time. I do read the comments. And I'll close with a commercial we made for Flying Eyes. And remember, superior judgment trumps superior skills. Hey everyone, Dan Milliken here. You guys know that I love my Flying Eyes sunglasses, but you don't have to take just my word for it. Here's Jim. I used my Flying Eyes glasses the other day on a flight, and they're fantastic. I'm using the Kestrel non-prescription bifocals, and I can see everything perfectly. The plane I use has a G1000, and the entire layout is very crisp. My headset had a better seal around my ears, so there was a little less noise than usual. I'm going through instrument training right now, and the foggles I use easily fit over these glasses. I definitely recommend anyone to give these glasses a try. And you can go to Flying Eyes Optics and order yours and use the discount code TakingOff, all caps, one word, for 10% off. We really appreciate it, and you won't regret it. These glasses are amazing. Thanks.